Greetings and salutations, Dota fans. I'm Ayesee, and welcome back for yet another edition of Ayesee RepCast. This should be my number 6 edition if this comes out on time anyway. Should be coming your way the Wednesday before Christmas, so Merry Christmas to those who might not hear my voice again between now and then. On the docket right now, though, we've got Fnatic taking on EG, the battle for RaidCall Pride. RaidCall, of course, a title sponsor for both squads, but anyway. EG taking on Fnatic, but this is the North American squad. I've casted the European squad a number of times. Had a lot of fun casting Fnatic's European squad. Very talented group of players. But this is their North American squad, and I have yet to have a chance to cast these guys. So it's a lot of fun for me to get to cast this now, to see a brand new team, but also a lot of brand new players I've never really seen before. When I look at their roster, I really have never even heard of most of these players, so maybe that's a failing of mine as a caster, but either way, hopefully you guys are going to have as much fun getting to know them in this broadcast as I'm going to have. I have absolutely no doubt. Now, they're going to have the work cut out for them. They're going to be taking on Evil Geniuses. Hands down, one of the best teams on the planet and a challenger for the title of best team outside of China. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup. So this match comes from Join Dota's The Defense, by the way, originally casted by Epi, and as always, I'll have links to the defense ticket down below, so you can check that out if you want to. If you say, hey, don't like this AC guy, would much rather just watch it without him prattling on, and hear the original broadcast, I'll have all the information available to you in the description of this video, just below the video screen. Anyway, bands are moving forward. And more or less, I would say there are 5, maybe 6 heroes that are almost always, 4 of which are almost always going to be banned out in the first phase now. And it's taken a while for that to kind of shake itself out, but we really have reached that point. Bad Rider, Bounty Hunter, Undying, Magnus, Darkseer, and TA. By far the most commonly banned heroes, at least in my casting experience that I see. Every now and then you'll see something thrown out there, a Wisp ban against the team that you know for a fact loves to run Wisp, for example, and that kind of a thing. But for the most part, these bans are very, very typical. The Bat Rider, the Bounty Hunter, the Undying, and the Magnus. So Darkseer does slide his way through. He is going to be picked up first by EG. No surprise there, and that's followed up by Luna and Nyx Assassin. Now, this drafting style out of Fnatic North America, I'll tell you the one thing that stands out to me right now. Neither of those 2 heroes that they picked up in this first phase really ran any risk of being banned before at least that 3rd spot. And to be honest, in the case of Nyx Assassin, unless they are just confident that EG knows them well enough to ban Nyx out almost as a pure respect ban to their playstyle, which again I wouldn't know because I'm not super familiar with the team, that Nyx Assassin can go all the way to the last draft spot, and they can instead focus on some much higher tier supports, say a Jakiro, for example, who's still very much in the pool, a Wisp. Luna, and again, Luna's an okay carry. Well, she's better than okay. She's really good. She's one of the better agility carries, period. But I feel like their draft, it just throws me off a little. And I'm giving a little bit more of a first impression kind of an analysis right now, just so you guys can kind of be inside my head as I get to know this brand new team that I have been assured by many. Ooh, hold that thought. EG has decided Axe is who they're going to run, and that makes me smile. Axe, one of the more unorthodox picks that you're ever going to see. He's one of those weird heroes that just doesn't fit anywhere terribly well. I mean, obviously he can function well in the jungle, and that's usually where you're going to see him. He's kind of unspectacular in lane. Rarely do you want to just dedicate any kind of tri-lane farm to him. I've seen Axe run mid a few times as well, just because he's so tanky just innately. In and of himself, you get those early levels, and he's going to start moving around the map. You can build his skills up very uniquely as well. Battle Hunger, just an absolutely annoying damage over time effect that can really be a nuisance, both in lane and once he starts to move around as well. And that's followed up by Enigma. So seeing the Enigma pick up, that kind of complicates things a little bit. You've got 2 heroes already on EG's side that generally you're going to see in the long lane. Either Darkseer or Enigma, and Enigma does great in the jungle. That's usually his #1 priority spot. But if he's not in the jungle, he's going to need a solo lane 9 times out of 10. So we'll see what they end up doing with it, but EG's already throwing a little bit of a curveball, and not to denigrate Fnatic North America at all, but I think EG smells that this is a new team. This is a team who, if they are acquainted with, I'm not going to say they don't have respect for them, but they probably just feel like they do have a bit of a skill difference edge, and certainly a team cohesion edge, given how talented these players are and how experienced they are playing as a unit. So they're playing some unorthodox stuff. Just to, I mean, it's always nice in a competitive environment to be able to branch out and try new things, experiment, and feel like maybe, you know, maybe this isn't going to be the absolute best draft we've ever had, but this is a new team, and we feel like we're going to be able to beat them based on nothing but our inherent team cohesion. So, and again, not trying to say anything negative about Fnatic North America at all. It's just the difference of a team that is extremely established and experienced playing against a team that they know they're going to have an advantage of on the outset. So Fnatic rounds out their first 6 with that Rubik pick. Rubik, a solid pickup to the Enigma. And Rubik has kind of fallen by the wayside in a lot of ways. It used to be first pick, first ban going back to the International, even months after that. You saw Rubik prioritized so heavily, but that has kind of fallen off a bit. He's still picked up enough that you can call him a fairly common hero, but he's certainly, very rarely do we see him come out in the first 6 anymore. But up against an Enigma, it's such a good choice. I mean, the Darkseer and the Enigma both, you've got some really great spells to steal, and Black Hole just by its very nature, because Enigma has to channel it to get the most effect out of it. Rubik is almost always guaranteed a chance to steal that if he's not caught in it originally, if he's hanging back and playing passively. And that's what Fnatic North America is going to be looking to do here, to reverse the tides of any sort of big Enigma Black Hole by Rubik simply stealing it and throwing his own down. So the second phase of bans come out quite quickly. We see Fnatic prioritizing, taking out all of the, in their mind, high-tier carries, and they certainly picked 3 good ones in Void, Lifestealer, and Sven. And Evil Geniuses doing the same thing. They don't want to see a Tidehunter show up on the other team. They already have the Rubik, who's going to be looking to steal that Black Hole, as mentioned. Tiny out as well, and Tinker, just taking Tinker out. When you're talking about the pure mobility of a Nyx Assassin and the problems he can cause you in a lot of ways, you don't want a Tinker going with that because of how mobile he's going to be once he gets up the boots of travel. And just the way the hero works is would have had a good chance to stultify anything EG wanted to do push-wise, anything they wanted to do in terms of team fights. Fighting on top of level 4 March of the Machines it's basically a death trap. It is not something you can do. Well, you can do it, but yeah, pretty highly advised against it. Dazzle, the 4th pickup from Evil Geniuses, and at this point they are running Team Purple with Axe, I guess you could say close to purple. Red's close, right? But Venomancer going to be the 4th pickup from Fnatic now. And I don't think there's any question, again, just to reiterate this, maybe this is the first broadcast of Dota 2 you've ever watched, ever. What EG's running here is not typical at all. Axe and Dazzle, 2 very rarely picked heroes. Both have their relative strengths. I mean, Dazzle could do okay in lane. He's got some versatility in terms of where you're going to put him in lane as well. His ultimate, the mass armor reduction, certainly helps, and you can't underestimate Shallow Grave. There's not a whole lot more, there's not much of a more fun ability to cast than a well-timed Shallow Grave. Huh. Yeah, Meepo was just picked by Evil Geniuses. So, no wonder. I'm not going to lie, in full disclosure, I had a number of people tweet at me and email me and say, hey, you should cast this game for a RepCast. Hey, now I know why, because there's going to be 5 little, I don't know what you'd call him, like, whenever I look at Meepo's face, he strikes me as a cross between Nicolas Cage and, oh, what's his name, from Boardwalk Empire. Oh my god, I love him, Steve Buscemi. Like, seriously, look at his face. Doesn't he look like the love child of Steve Buscemi and Nicolas Cage? But, anyway, that aside, we will talk at length about Meepo. I'm still just kind of recovering from it. How is Meepo going to fit into this lineup is my question. Wow, I mean, they're just, Meepo's going to die all the time. I mean, just to be totally honest, looking at what Fnatic North America has, they've got Luna. They're going to have Eclipse on her at level 6. And with the well-leveled Lucent Beams, that's just going to melt Meepo, and it doesn't matter how many of them there are to spread it across. He's going to die. Nyx Assassin, no question about it, is going to melt Meepo. Rubik is going to be able to use Telekinesis to pull one Meepo at least into a bad situation. Now you throw in Juggernaut. Yeah, now you've got Blade Fury plus Omni Slash. EG, I believe you guys have just trolled yourself. And I'm not going to lie. I know nothing about this match. If EG wins, I'll be surprised. No wonder so many people wanted me to watch this. And we are into the match now. EG taking on Fnatic North America, and EG, I believe, again, may have just trolled themselves to death. Now, it is worth mentioning as well, not only is EG's lineup rather weird and rather thin, they're also doing this with 2 stand-ins. And, yeah, it's, again, I don't know anything about Fnatic North America, but I can guarantee that they are going to be a talented team, pretty much for sure. Just based on the fact that, I mean, if you're talented enough to earn the attention of an amazing sponsor like Fnatic, you're going to have some talent. You're going to be able to play some Dota. And up against this lineup, I would be shocked if they don't notch a win. EG might be able to stretch it out. They might be able to make it a longer game. But we're going to focus on Meepo, and I'm going to get to talking about him momentarily. Just kind of still just shuddering, reeling from that Meepo pick. I'm not sure I totally grasp what EG's game plan here is. Anyway, how about we run through our lineups? We're going to have Fear playing, wow, okay, there's something else. Fear on a Darkseer. Never thought I'd see the day. Fear is generally the hardcore carry player for EG. Anyway, not this time. Going to be playing on Darkseer. Meepo, the surprise pick, going to be handled by Jo. Enigma going to be played by Lacoste, who is standing in. Good to see him playing again. I haven't casted Lacoste in a while. Pusher Street standing in for EG as well. He's going to be handling Dazzle. And we're going to have Milk playing on our Axe. So, over to Fnatic's side, we're going to have Whitebeard handling our Rubik. He's setting up shop against Axe in mid. And now, I had mentioned before I had seen this. Here we go. Pulling him back, a little extra tower damage. So Milk going to have to be pretty careful here. He screws around a little too much, and wow, that is just a terrible Gale. Rolo just utterly whiffed on that Gale. I'm talking he completely whiffed that time around. And Fnatic already giving a lot of attention to this middle lane. Looks like they are going to go ahead and move 2 more, so it'll buy me just enough time. Never mind. Here, another telekinesis. Milk just being harassed to death, relying on counter Helix to do a lot of last hitting for him as he takes harassment, not just from Fnatic, but also from the creeps as well. But anyway, to this Meepo pick, actually I'm going to finish running through my lineups. Derp going to be playing on our Juggernaut. We're going to have Smurf handling our Luna, and Rolo, as mentioned, handling Venomancer with Tobacco, I guess, is the name he's going to be playing under. Playing on our Nexus asset. Now, let's talk about Meepo. What does Meepo do other than die a whole lot if you're not super careful? And hang on, they're going to go ahead and engage on. Now, going to give me time. Jo trying to find some safety. Running in the wrong direction, though. Running towards the Tire's side. And this is really good movement. Uses the Earthbind to buy himself some time. However, the Gale does connect, and that's going to be our first blood for sure. Give it to Venomancer. Rolo makes up for missing that first Gale in mid, otherwise that would have been first blood on Milk for sure. But yeah, that right there is what Meepo does a whole hell of a lot. Now, for those who don't know Dota terribly much, the gimmick on which Meepo relies is he's going to have multiple Meepos running around the map as he gains levels. Divided we stand, the name of his ultimate. That's what allows him to have a number of him moving around. Problem is, you kill one, you kill them all. And of all those little clones and copies, hang on, hold that thought, Jo. Now with Pusher Street, just very little damage being done here. He's got a Blade Fury if he needs it. He is going to be Earthbinded down, but it doesn't matter. And Jo just eating a lot of damage. He's going to continue to chase him. Wants to try. This is really kind of goofy. There comes the Shadow Poison. That's going to help a bit. They're going to get him. Nope. Here comes. Oh, they blocked him in. Doesn't matter. Oh, no. Double Gale. Good shot by Rolo. And Carapace is up. Down goes Meepo for the second time in as many minutes. And yeah, this is not going EG's way. And this is before the weaknesses of Meepo should really even be showing themselves. I mean, this is just a flat-out lane loss. They're up against an offensive tri-lane with a Juggernaut, a Nyx, and a Veno. That's an extremely potent level 1 through 5 offensive tri-lane. And they're just... them chasing through the jungle that entire time was questionable to begin with. They had to know help was going to be coming. They weren't just going to let their friend die. And given how little damage EG was actually doing their street, and Jo just... Anyway, shoddy decision-making. Either way, back to Meepo. When you look at the team that Fnatic has put together, and again, as mentioned, for those who are brand new to Dota and wondering why I'm harping on about this really weird little Steve Buscemi lookalike, Nicolas Cage lookalike as well. But anyway, is the gimmick that he relies on, basically, is he's going to split into several aspects of himself. Now, each of those aspects generate gold, or can generate gold, I should say more accurately, and they soak up experience. So you spread them out. Hang on, they're going to engage on Milk in mid. Milk gonna drop. That's a quick 3-0 for Fnatic North America. And, yeah, this is basically... This is the pigeons coming home to roost for EG. There's a reason why lineups like this are not seen very often. And as entertaining as it is to see, I wish I could be a little more excited about it, but I kind of can't. This is expected. Like, Axe going mid against the Rubik, he's going to be telekinesed. He's going to be ganked by any competent team. And Fnatic North America already beginning to show themselves to be quite competent. And this is just, it's a weird sort of a matchup. Anyway, back to Meepo. Eventually he's going to split. I've been stuttering and stammering through this forever just because of the different action that's been going on. The problem is, essentially, if one aspect of Meepo dies, they all die. And except for the original, they all have reduced stats and can't carry items. So naturally, they're going to be a little squishy. Now look at the lineup that Fnatic has. They have a lot of ways to grab one of those Meepos, pull him out of position, and get a quick kill. And I kind of ran through them during the drafting phase, so I won't go through it again. But, I mean, we're already seeing it now. Just killing one Meepo, which is the normal Meepo, which should be the harder Meepo to kill. They're having no problem. They've killed him twice. Milk has died in mid as well. And I'm not really sure what Axe is going to be bringing to the forefront here. Like, what exactly is the plan with him and why he was the optimum pick? I mean, there's that battle hunger I was talking about. And he is putting a lot of levels into it, by the way. He's got it leveled up to level 3 now, so he's relying on that dot. In the meantime, Derp is going to get another kill. He's going to pay the price for it. So 1 for 1, Dazzle for Jugger. That's a slight win for EG, who finally gets themselves on the board. Make it 1-4. Milk going to try and engage here on Whitebeard. And getting some very fortuitous procs on the counter helix. Gets himself a kill. Some help coming in now. Fear teleported to mid. Here comes Derp, though. Trying to find himself a kill as well. I want to point out how aggressively warded how aggressive with wards, I should say, Fnatic North America is being. Just taking utter control of the bottom side of the map. And that's such a good call. Again, against such a hero like Meepo, which needs a lot of help. Like, I would not even be comfortable leaving Meepo down here by himself at this stage of the game. Given how bad of a start he had. Yeah, that's a word. Given how bad of a start he had. This is just risky. Yep, and here's exactly why. Here comes Whitebeard, and that's a dead Meepo. Meepo going to use an Earthbind. Doesn't matter. He's not going to get away. Running into the jungle. Trying to find himself. Yep, he's going to use the Tango. Basically just buying himself some time. But down he goes. 3-5 now. EG trails by 2. How about we take our first look at the gold graph? Not quite 1,000 gold separating. The experience is actually in favor of EG, so they've got that going for them. But... just to be perfectly blunt, and Luna manages to solo kill Darkseer at top, which should not happen, just to be blunt. I honestly can't imagine how or why that happened. Luna at this stage, at this level, should have no chance whatsoever to solo kill a Darkseer. Anyway, here we go. Milk's going to be brought out again. TP's come in, and he's dead under the tower. Doing decent damage. With the counter Helix procs, it just doesn't matter now. EG trying to pay back the favor on bottom. Nick's caught out. Buys himself some time, though, and is able to use his invisibility to get away. Here comes the rest of Fnatic. Speaking of Invis, we got 2 smoked up. They're moving through the Radiant side jungle now. They may have a chance to catch Lacoste, and they will. Lacoste in trouble. There's the Blade Fury. And Nyx was there just in case. Not that they needed it. They continue to build that lead, almost tripling up. EG at this point, they lead by 5 kills, 8-3. Haven't even had a chance to talk about the last hits. And it's really weird, the disparity in last hits right now. Luna leading with 45 at the top of the board. 41 for Darkseer. So those two have been farming up. 31 for Rubik, but then it falls off. 28, 26, 25, 15, etc., etc. The Juggernaut has not gotten much farm. But I'm actually pretty okay with this, and I'll tell you why. A common misconception, especially at what I would call the intermediate level, where you understand a little bit about Dota, but you're still really trying to get a grasp of how it all fits together. Jugger is not a traditional carry. In fact, he's just not that good of a carry, period. He is an agility hero. He does have crit built into him with his passive. But really, he is an extremely abilities-based hero that what I would call a high-value hero, or I've always been looking for the right term for this. A value-needed hero is one that I've kind of started to use, in that he has an extremely strong period of time from the start of the game until about 10 to 12 minutes where his abilities are just absurdly good. They are absurdly good in every situation. Then after that, they slowly start to peter out. Hang on, Fear going to be caught out. Just great movement here out of Fnatic, North America. Moving up, they get a free kill between the towers, and they're not done. They're going to chase Melk and Lacoste down. Yep, they're going to engage. Here we go. Lucent Beam on Lacoste. There's Melk. Telekinesis going to be dropped down. And they're going to get the free kill on the Enigma. They got to be careful. Melk might get a kill here, but nope, never mind. Carapace is there. And just in case it wasn't, they were all running together anyway. 11-3. And Fnatic North America is just pounding Evil Geniuses. Now, granted again, this is... Oh, never mind. Looks like, yeah, Axe actually did manage to get the kill on Nyx because of Battle Hunger, so that's cute. Well done there, Axe. Killing him from the grave, the posthumous kill. But this is an EG squad that is missing two. They have two stand-ins, but to be honest, their stand-ins are good. Their stand-ins are very talented players, so that's not an excuse. This is just good play. Only way to put it. EG picked a rather unorthodox team, and the reason those heroes that are a part of that team are unorthodox is being exposed right now. Fnatic North America just executing, just getting the job done. Fear caught out, being pursued by Smurf, and that's exactly why I was surprised that he was killed by Smurf to begin with, and why it should never happen. Meantime, speaking of deaths, Axe going to be picked off on bottom. And right now, Fnatic is just doing a great job of dividing their labor. EG, able to go 1-for-1, though, as they managed to get 3 together to pick off Luna. Derp there under the tier 1. Might try to hold it. There's a buyback. That's really an aggressive buyback. And let's see. Is it going to be worthwhile? They're going to come out and pursue. Here comes Derp. He's got enough mana to cast both. No, he does not have enough to cast the spin and his ulti. So he's going to have to be aware of that. Has a couple of charges on his magic stick. But doesn't look like there's going to be a battle anyway. In the meantime, Whitebeard and Tobacco quite happy to go ahead and start pounding on this tier 1 bottom. 12-5. EG trailing and falling further and further behind. I'll tell you what I mean by that. Is even under the best circumstances, Meepo against Luna is not a particularly good matchup. Like, Meepo needs to be getting way ahead as soon as he hits 6, and he's level 8 now. He's got a couple of his aspects now. I mean, he's got 2. But Luna is well farmed. Best farmed on the map, sitting at 66 at 11 minutes and 20 seconds. That's considerable. That's good farm. 60 for Darkseer is okay. He's no carry. 54 for that Meepo. But if they spawn him at all, he's just going to die. There's no doubt about it. I mean, when you look at the main Meepo here, or the non-main, 986 hit points for him. That's all he has. And they almost pick off Fear. They're going to get Fear. Fear slowed. There it is. So Derp adds another kill to the total. In the meantime, Fnatic has managed to get that middle tower as well. And the rest of the team now joining together to begin assaulting this tier 1 top. Milk still trying to farm himself up. Haven't had a whole lot of time to talk about items because it's just been a very active map. 20 kills on the board and 12 minutes, so haven't had a whole lot of time to get into deep analysis. They are going to get that tier 1 top. Let's see if they're going to continue to push. If I were in their shoes, there's no way I'd let up. Meepo is too weak at this stage of the game. Juggernaut is in his stride. He's got a maxed out Blade Fury. He's got 2 points into his healing ward. There's no reason for them to stop pushing. In fact, if they push to the throne right now, push through this tier 2 all the way to the tier 3, that would not surprise me at all. I feel like they are in a position to do that. Just because EG has been off balance the entire game. Very good movement out of Fnatic. Applying pressure to mid as well as to bottom. A lot of pressure to bottom. And here we go. Fear's going to move in. There's a vacuum, catches 3. Blade Fury comes out, though. Decent amount of damage done. Here comes Jo. He's going to land. He's going to have to immediately retreat, though. Whitebeard hanging around the side, looking to steal a spell to grab someone with telekinesis. Healing ward is up, and this is what I'm talking about. I'm actually surprised. I don't think they have to retreat here. They're going to nonetheless. They're already back to full health. And what the hell is EG going to do? They've got a black hole, and that's grand, but where's their damage? Seriously, where is their damage? They do not have any. Melk is the only form of damage they have in the late stages of the early game and into the mid game, and he's nowhere near the fight. So, instead, though, looks like they're just going to go ahead and select a different target, now setting up shop, rattling their saber in mid lane. This tier 2 looks to be their goal, and there we go. Blink in from Whitebeard. He managed to grab Lacoste. Lacoste going to drop immediately, push her streak, trying to make a run for it. Very quiet performance out of Dazzle. Have not seen much out of Pusher. Have not seen Shallow Graves come out when they should. He was active in lane for a little while, but for the most part, this has just been all Fnatic, and I'm not blaming Pusher at all. I'm not saying he's underperformed, but when you're getting housed this badly, your ability to shine from an individual play standpoint is just really low. Jo, 14 minutes in, 72 last hits, has every bit of treads and Ring of Basilisk, plus 1,400 gold. And Juggernaut manages to kill Milk. I'm blown away. This is a good performance out of Fnatic North America now. Now let's stay in reality. Let's make sure we're still on planet Earth. EG is all fear. Wrong place to be, my friend. That's going to be a very... Oh, you stuttered it. Oh, no, Smurf. What'd you do? Oh, that had to be a mistake of nerves right there. Oh, wow. Just misjudged. Canceling the animation for the auto attack and missed out on a kill because of it. But anyway, let's make sure we stay on planet Earth. This is not a full EG squad. And they obviously picked a team composition based on the idea that they were just going to out-skill difference their opponents. Fnatic North America has taken that and shoved it down their throat and made them love them for it. Like, this is ugly. A lambasting. A bamboozling. Fnatic North America in total control right now, and I don't see what EG can do to get back into this. Rolo's going to blow the ulti. Jo doing what he can, manages to poof himself a kill. Tobacco's there, Milk, and here we go. They're going to move in. Here comes the Blade Fury. There's the vacuum, just doesn't matter. Damage coming out way too quickly, and Derp doesn't have his ulti to call on. Tobacco, pops the Carapace. He does drop, but he does a little bit of damage before. In the meantime, Derp cleaning up house. The cost going to be telekinesis back. Smurf Dota is there, doesn't have his ulti to call upon, has his Manta if he wants it, though. Lacoste going to be picked off. Fear Force back, going to catch a Lucid Beam in the meantime, but it just doesn't matter. 3 for 1, the trade. And Fnatic tripling up EG right now. Just a complete clinic they're putting on. And again, I am happy for Fnatic. Love EG. And again, the reality is it's not a full squad. They picked a really goofy lineup. I mean, I've been trying to avoid negative adjectives, but I think the scoreboard speaks for itself. This is a goofy lineup, and they are being punished for it by a very talented Fnatic North America team. And yeah, this is what should happen. And hopefully this will teach EG a lesson that no matter how good they are, and they are very talented, no matter how experienced they are, at this level of play, you're going to be playing against pro teams. They're going to be good. They're going to be able to punish you for choosing a Meepo. Anyway, Fnatic ready to build on that lead. Now moving on into the Roche pit. And not much EG can do, really. Jo trying to farm himself up. Looks like he's going for the Scepter. Yeah, he is going to be going for the Scepter. For those who don't know, the Scepter does give you an extra Meepo aspect, and we can actually see 3 of the little buggers running around now. In the meantime, though, Roche bites the dust, and Fnatic's going to be looking to close this game out. And to be honest, yeah, look at that. 12,000 gold. About 10,000 experience. There's no reason they shouldn't be able to end this game forthwith, and with the greatest of all haste. Hooking up, and they're going to go ahead and engage. Here we go. Fear's going to be telekinesis brought back and crashed on Milk. They're grouped up. They need to get out of there. Earthbind going to lock the Fnatic in place for a minute, but there goes the Omni / Lucent Beam. Black holes out, but only catch... Oh, good vacuum! Brought a couple into it. Really good play there by Fear. Just not enough. Fnatic still alive, still giving chase. Looks like, no, they can't even dead. Finally, they bring him down, but Smurf's still up and fighting. Finally, one of those Meepos dies. 2 for 1, the trade, soon to be 3. There you go. Lucent Beam shuts the door. And EG, believe, has run out of time, 24-9. And Milk's actually... Whitebeard's going to die. Just about, yep. Whitebeard is going to die. And, there you go. That is the annoyance of Battle Hunger. Milk, fuck yeah. Damn right, Milk. It's a moral victory, even though you're getting completely housed. Oh, don't pick Meepo. Why would you pick Meepo? Anyway, good vacuum. Gale follow-up, though. Just not a lot of damage to follow this up, and they're going to go ahead and engage. Veno ulti from the low ground, catches a couple. Pipe pop by EG. Don't know that it matters, though. Everyone's just so underfarmed. I mean, you look at Melk's inventory. What's he have? Bottle, Tranquil Boots, Wand, Stout Shield in 18 minutes. Big freaking deal. He had an entire solo lane.
Radiant's middle tower
In the meantime, Sanj and Yasha done on Juggernaut. And it looks like Rolo well on his way to a mechanism. And again, this has just been a very active game. 34 kills in 18 minutes, so sorry I haven't had a lot of an opportunity to look at inventories very much. Mech's done for Lacoste. In the meantime, Jo farming up with all of his myriad little dudes. He's about 1,500 gold away from his scepter now, which will give him yet another aspect of himself, of course. But still, really struggling. Vlad's complete with an extra Staff of Wizardry complete now. On Tobacco as well. We'll see what he wants to do with that. Hang on, they're going to engage, and watch. One Meepo dies. Peace out. All Meepos die. Jo drops yet again. 8-1 for Luna now. 6-2 on Juggernaut. And want to point out again, Juggernaut's farm has been garbage. He's sitting at 36, but I would say 25 of those have come only in the last 5 minutes. He just did not farm early. But he is a hero who can rely on his ability so much early. Melk going to be telekinesed. A little bit of a mistiming there. Doesn't matter. Melk pops the haste rune. Picked up, dropped down, pays the price. Down he goes. 40 seconds on him, 20 seconds on Meepo. Wall goes down just to try and buy some time, but at this stage, Fnatic doesn't seem to care. BKB up, and off goes the Eclipse, just pounding away on Fear. Shallow Grave is dropped, and Dazzle's going to pay the price for it. Tier 3, gone as well. Fnatic, ready to take their first set of racks, and I'd be surprised if the GGs don't come out real soon. There's just no way EG can play themselves back into this. The lineup they had picked up until the Meepo was weird in itself. Like, they were going to have to play exceptionally well to be able to have any sort of stability out of the lineup they had already drafted. By selecting the Meepo, they basically guaranteed that if Fnatic North America was as good as you would expect them to be, that they were going to win. And I think, again, they deserve a lot of credit. Coming in, playing against a world-renowned squad, Fnatic North America, not the most experienced, playing as a cohesive unit. And they've come out and gotten themselves a good win here. All that needs to be said on the matter. Very impressive performance by them. Whitebeard, caught out. Looks like he might have a chance to get away, though. Force Staff was used. Nope, he's going to die. But it's too little too late. I mean, the racks are down. Buy back out of the Rubik. And, yeah, EG's going to smoke here. If this doesn't go well, probably the GGs are going to come out. There's literally just nothing they can do. You take a look at the net worth. 4 of the top 5 net worth, all belonging to Fnatic North America. And Meepo, who is the highest worth, played by Jo on EG, sitting at 7,300. That's 5,000 less. 5,000 less than Luna, which is his competition. Hell, he's 300 behind Juggernaut, who didn't farm for the first 15 minutes of this game, give or take. So, EG looking to make something happen, not going to find anything, nobody's home. And the Mega Creeps already beginning to pound on the main base of EG. And yeah, this is just a desperation maneuver. Maybe if they go 5-0, they might have a chance to get themselves back into this, but the door very quickly closing on them. And they're aware of that. And this poor Meepo. Oh, Jo. That's your actual Meepo, too. Yep, peace out, Jo. Sorry, Meepo. You don't have much of a place in competitive play. Or if you do, you definitely need some better supporting cast than Axe, Dazzle, Enigma, etc. Not to say any of those heroes in and of themselves are horrible. They're not. Every hero in Dota is good in their own way. But this team, the EG draft, oh, what a vacuum! Caught everyone! And trying to use it, but off goes the Vinawalti. BKB's up. There's the Eclipse as well. Black Hole catches a couple. Melk caught the Shallow Grave, but turned around by Whitebeard. Stole the Black Hole, and that's gonna be all she wrote. Fnatic goes 4 for 1. Melk, once again, throws out the fuck yeah. However, EG Dota about to take a loss. 23 minutes in. The GG's bound to be coming out soon. Geomancer. Oh, EG coming up short here in this match. They've already lost 2 sets of racks. At Fnatic now going to work on the Tier 4 towers. In comes Derp. They may get another kill for their trouble, but Jo not going to last for long. Down he goes after one good crit from Derp. Still 3 down. Meepo down for another 50 seconds. Shout out to Chionasa. Yep, they still haven't called the GGs, but that's okay. Here comes Melk. Gonna go ahead and use the Berserker's Call. Gonna be caught out. Vacuum gonna bring him together. Gets a kill in the meantime. Whitebeard making a run for it. Still continuing to play this out as best they can. Can't blame him. But down 2 racks again. Make no mistake, this is a foregone conclusion. This game is not going to last too much longer. And in the meantime, Luna manages to add yet another kill to her personal total. But Milk, doing what he can, manages to get a kill on Vino. But, yeah. Top barracks, down goes this melee racks, no doubt about it. Peace out. Mega's out in 3, 2, and 1. GG. Ultra Mega's out. Jo continuing to try to put Meepo through his stretches, and we can see how much damage Poof's doing here. Doesn't matter though. BKB pop now. Earthbind does nothing. Up. And TP away. Peace out. The Megas will be able to end this game momentarily. Want to thank you guys for tuning in. One of the weirder games I've had, and probably the most strange RepCast I've had just because of the lineups, and didn't have a whole lot of time to focus on things like items and all that, but pretty sure if you watch this game, you got the gist. 2 things I want you to walk away from this RepCast having learned or having at least thought about. 1, moving as a unit, team cohesion, good decision making. That's what wins Dota games. You can win with just about any lineup. Keep in mind I qualified that, just about any lineup. And Milk's gonna die immediately. Lacoste caught out, here comes Derp Derp. Yep, Lacoste gonna die after being caught with the Gale. Shallow Grave, hey, there you go, good job, Pusher. That's the kind of thing it's exciting to see. Doesn't matter though, he's gonna die anyway. But, again, this game on its way out. But what really won Fnatic this game, more so than really weird picks out of EG or what have you, but what really won them this game was just how well they played as a unit. They moved well, they were always in the right place. Here come the GGs. And a very well-earned win. EG, I hope, learned their lesson. Do not pick weird lineups because you think you're better than the opponents, or you will be made to pay for it like they were here today. 38-14, 25 minutes, 43 seconds, the official game time. And I really hope you guys enjoyed the cast. A little bit weird, but a nice one leading up to Christmas once again. Merry Christmas to everyone, in case you don't hear from me before the holidays. And that's another RepCast in the books. Hope you guys enjoyed watching as much as I enjoyed making it. You can find links to my other media as well down in the video description. Hope to have you back in the future. On Mondays and Wednesdays, I'll be releasing future RepCasts, and every Friday I'll be answering viewer mail via my mailbag segment. So make sure you don't miss a bit of that action. Go ahead and hit subscribe here on YouTube, and hope you'll follow me on Twitter as well, on Facebook. And again, you can find all of those links right below the video. Until then, take care. See you soon.